What if I told you that comfort is the new cage? Look around you. Look at the world they've built for you. Everything designed to make life easier, smoother, more convenient, more comfortable. But here's what they don't want you to realize. They don't need chains anymore. They gave you comfort, and you chained yourself. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Not entertained, not distracted, not satisfied, but alive. When was the last time you chose the harder path because it was right? When did you last feel the electric surge of growth through your veins? You can't remember, can you? That's because if you want to control a man, you don't threaten him. You feed him. You sedate him. You give him just enough pleasure to keep him docile, just enough comfort to keep him compliant. You are not enslaved by force. You are enslaved by sedation disguised as peace. They've weaponized your own nervous system against you, turned your natural drive for ease into the very thing that destroys you. The cage isn't made of iron. It's made of Netflix subscriptions and DoorDash orders. It's made of endless scroll and instant gratification. It's made of the lie that you deserve to be comfortable. And the most insidious part? You built it yourself. If you feel the chains tightening, if you're done numbing yourself into a quiet, comfortable death, and you want to be free, waste no time. Hit that subscribe button. We don't chase dopamine here. We chase freedom. We chase the truth. And it's going to hurt. I know you're ready to be free. I can sense it here, and you're sure about that. Ensure you follow these life-saving principles outlined in this video to the end. 1. Comfort is a cage. Your brain is a beautiful, ancient machine. It's wired for one primary directive: keep you alive. And for 200,000 years, that meant seeking safety, certainty, and ease whenever possible. Your ancestors who found the warm cave, the reliable food source, the path of least resistance, they survived. They passed on their genes. You carry that wiring. But here's the cruel joke of modernity. That same wiring that kept your ancestors alive is now killing you slowly. Every time you choose the comfortable option, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. It tells you, good job, you're safe, you're surviving. But you're not surviving, you're dying, you're atrophying. Every comfort you choose is a small death, a tiny surrender of your potential. The limbic system, your ancient, emotional brain, rewards the exact same behaviors that keep you stagnant. It can't tell the difference between the comfort that saves you from a predator and the comfort that saves you from growth. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher who advised emperors, warned us about this over 2,000 years ago. He said luxury and ease corrupt the soul. He understood that softness breeds weakness, that comfort breeds complacency. Nietzsche put it even more brutally. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. But look around. We've lost the why. We've traded purpose for Netflix. We've traded meaning for convenience. We've traded our souls for seamless user experiences. Comfort is the anesthesia of the modern world. You're not failing because you're incapable. You're failing because you're sedated. Every easy choice you make is a vote for the person you don't want to become. Every hard choice you avoid is a wall you build between yourself and greatness. The cage is comfortable. That's the point. That's why you don't want to leave. 2. They profit off your weakness. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't entirely your fault. You think you're failing at self-discipline. You think you're just weak? Think again. Every app on your phone was designed by teams of neuroscientists, behavioral economists, and addiction specialists. Every notification, every infinite scroll, every recommended for you algorithm is built to bypass your rational mind and trigger your deepest cravings. You're not failing at self-discipline. You're being algorithmically outgunned. The processed food industry spends billions studying how to make food hyper-palatable. engineered to hit the exact combination of salt, sugar, and fat that triggers compulsive eating. The social media companies employ the same tactics as casinos, using variable reward schedules to keep you hooked. You were built to survive a jungle, not an infinite scroll. Your evolutionary wiring made you exquisitely sensitive to social status, to novelty, to immediate rewards. In the natural world, these instincts kept you alive. In the digital world, they make you a perfect consumer. Plato told us about prisoners chained in a cave, mistaking shadows on the wall for reality. The modern version? You're watching filtered lives on Instagram, measuring your worth against highlight reels, living borrowed identities from people who are performing for the same algorithm that's manipulating you. They figured out the cheat codes to your brain, and they're using them against you every single day. If they can keep you weak, they can keep you buying. If they can keep you entertained, they can keep you asleep. If they can keep you comfortable, they can keep you controlled. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. And you're not the customer, you're the product. 3. Pain is not the enemy. But here's where everything changes. Here's where you take back control. We were not designed for comfort. We were designed to evolve. Pain isn't your enemy. Discomfort isn't a sign something's wrong. It's a signal that something's growing. When you lift weights, your muscles tear. That tearing hurts. But it's not damage, it's transformation. Your body rebuilds those muscles stronger than before. That's how growth works. That's how life works. Your brain operates the same way. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself, only activates under stress. When you push against resistance, when you embrace discomfort, your prefrontal cortex literally reshapes itself. New neural pathways form. Old patterns dissolve. Most people confuse discomfort with danger. But discomfort is just information. It's your nervous system telling you that you're at the edge of your current capacity. And the edge is where growth lives. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world, Roman emperor, with every luxury imaginable at his fingertips. But when he went to war, he slept on hard ground. When plague swept through his empire, he stayed to serve his people. He deliberately chose discomfort because he understood that comfort makes you weak. Malcolm X, locked in prison, rejected every comfort the system offered. Instead of numbing his pain with distractions, he devoured books. He used his cell as a monastery. He transformed his suffering into strength, his confinement into clarity. David Goggins, a modern warrior, weaponized pain as fuel for transformation. He understood that the voice in your head telling you to quit, to take the easy path, to stay comfortable, that voice is not you. That's the voice of your limitations, and you can choose not to listen. If you avoid pain, you avoid power. Every meaningful transformation is baptized in discomfort. The question isn't whether you'll experience pain. You're already in pain. The pain of a wasted life, of unrealized potential, of settling for less than you can become. The question is, will you choose pain with purpose or pain without progress?
4. The identity lie. Now we need to talk about who you think you are. Because here's the truth they don't want you to understand. Your self is largely programmed. Your identity, the story you tell yourself about who you are, was shaped by early trauma, by media consumption, by your environment, by 1,000 influences you never consciously chose. You didn't choose your identity. It was given to you, like a uniform, like a script, like a cage. They didn't just give you comfort, they gave you an identity built for obedience. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, said it perfectly. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Comfort prevents you from confronting the unconscious. It keeps you sleepwalking through your own existence. When everything is easy, when every need is met instantly, you never have to face the deeper questions. Who am I really? What am I capable of? What would I become if I stopped accepting the limitations I've been handed? But here's the liberation. You weren't born soft. You were made soft. What was made can be unmade. What was given can be rejected. What was programmed can be reprogrammed. Your current identity is not permanent. It's not sacred. It's not even real. It's just a collection of thoughts and behaviors you've repeated so often that they feel like truth. But you have the power to author a new story, to choose a new identity, to become someone who doesn't just consume comfort, but creates value. Someone who doesn't just seek pleasure, but pursues purpose. The person you are today is not the person you have to be tomorrow. History proves this over and over again. The Spartans didn't raise their children in comfort. They exposed them to hardship from birth because they understood that strength comes from struggle, that resilience comes from resistance. Abraham Lincoln failed as a businessman, lost elections, battled crippling depression, but every failure forged him into the leader who could hold a divided nation together during its darkest hour. Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure taught him something. Each setback made him stronger. He didn't see failure as defeat. He saw it as data. Every person who ever achieved greatness walked the same path. They rejected the easy road and chose the one that demanded everything from them. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camps, said it best, "Man is not made for happiness. He is made for greatness." Happiness is fleeting. Comfort is temporary. But greatness is what remains when everything else is stripped away. True growth only comes from voluntary suffering chosen in service of a higher purpose. The comfortable life is not the meaningful life. The easy path is not the path of power.